There will be no day of days then when a new world order comes into being. Step by step and here and there it will arrive. And even as it comes into being, it will develop fresh perspectives, discover unsuspected problems, and go on to new adventures. No man, no group of men, will ever be singled out as its father or founder, for its maker will not be this man nor that man, nor any man but man, that being who is in some measure in every one of us. World order will be like science, like most inventions, a social product. An innumerable number of personalities will have lived fine lives, pouring their best into the collective achievement. We can find a small-scale parallel to the probable development of a new world order in the history of flying. Less than a third of a century ago, 99 people out of 100 would have told you that flying was impossible. Kites and balloons, and possibly even a navigable balloon, they could imagine. They had known of such things for 100 years. But a heavier-than-air machine flying in defiance of wind and gravity? That, they knew, was nonsense. The would-be aviator was the typical comic inventor. Any fool could laugh at him. Now consider how completely the air is conquered. And who did it? Nobody and everybody. 20,000 brains or so, each contributing a notion, a device, an amplification. They stimulated one another. They took off from one another. They were like excited ganglia in a larger brain, sending their impulses to and fro. They were people of the most diverse race and color. You can write down perhaps 100 people or so who have figured conspicuously in the air. And when you examine the role they have played, you will find for the most part that they are mere notorieties of the Lindbergh type, who will put themselves modestly but firmly in the limelight and can lay no valid claim to any effective contribution whatever. You will find many disputes about records and priority in making this or that particular step, but the lines of suggestion, the growth and elaboration of the idea have been an altogether untraceable process. It has been going on for not more than a third of a century, under our very eyes, and no one can say precisely how it came about. One man said, "Why not this?" and tried it, and another said, "Why not that?" A vast miscellany of people had one idea in common, an idea as old as Daedalus, the idea that man can fly. Suddenly, swiftly, it got about. That is the only phrase you can use, that flying was attainable, and man as a social being, turned his mind to it seriously and flew. So it will certainly be with the New World Order, if ever it is attained. A growing miscellany of people are saying, it is getting about. That a world pax is possible. A world pax in which men will both be united and free and creative. It is of no importance at all that nearly every man of 50 and over receives the idea with a pitying smile. Its chief dangers are the dogmatist and the would-be leader who will try to suppress every collateral line of work which does not minister to his supremacy. This movement must be, and it must remain, many-headed. Suppose the world had decided that Santos Dumont or Hiram Maxim was the heaven-sent master of the air, had given him the right to appoint a successor and subjected all experiments to his inspired control. We should probably have the air master now, with an applauding retinue of yes-men following the hops of some clumsy, useless, and extremely dangerous apparatus across country with the utmost dignity and self-satisfaction.